Just a real quick recap. Today we're going to be talking about understanding what biconditional is, how to write one, how we use them, when they're appropriate, when they're not. And we're also going to talk about how to write and identify what good definitions look like. Okay? So to begin with, let's review this converse real quick. If M is the midpoint on segment AB and AM is equal to MB, then M is the midpoint of segment AB. Go ahead and write this down. Actually, I'm going to pause this while you copy this down, and then we'll talk about it. So, a couple of things I want to talk about before we get into what we're really talking about here. Some symbolism. What does this mean? A line from point A to point B. And so I would agree with that because you're saying it's starting at A and it's ending at B. But usually we refer to that as a line segment. Okay? So it's a segment AB. Or you could say line segment AB. Anybody know what this means, the way it's written, the symbolism there? Vertex or vertices? I'll give you a hint. When we're talking angles, we either use a single letter or 3 letters, and you have to have an angle symbol. Okay? I had an idea you've not seen this much like this, but it means the distance from A to M. So what this is saying is, if M is on segment AB and the distance from A to M is equal to the distance from M to B, then M is the midpoint of segment AB. Okay? The converse. If M is the midpoint of segment AB, then M is on segment AB and the distance from A to M is equal to the distance from M to B. Let me pause a second. So, if and only if is called a biconditional. You've probably heard things like, you'll get to go to the movies if and only if you get your homework done. Okay? What that means is a lot stronger than what we read yesterday when we heard Troy's mom, who never lies to us, say that if you get your homework done, then you get to go to the movies, right, Melody? This is a lot stronger because this is saying if I see him at the movies, that meant he had to have done his homework. Because she said the only way you'll get to the movies is if you get your homework done. And the only way you'll get your homework done is if you go to the movies. It goes both ways. It's a lot stronger. Okay? When you're writing it in words, you can use IFF, stands for if and only if. So you don't have to write it out. I know some of you get cramps in your hands and wrists from all the writing we make you do this unit. But you can abbreviate if and only if to IFF. Now when we're using symbols like P, Q, this means P if and only if Q. P could be you'll go to the movies. Q could be you get your homework done. So you'll go to the movies if and only if you get your homework done. All right? This symbol is the same. Depending on what book you're looking at, they might use it one way or the other. They rarely would use it one way in a book and then later in the book use it the other way, okay? When you're looking at a book, they'll stick to that one method all the way through. Any questions on the concept of if and only if? All right, I think I have an example here. Scroll down, we'll just get rid of this ugly yellow. So, if we put those two together, it says M is the midpoint of segment AB if and only if M is on segment AB and the distance from A to M is equal to the distance from M to B. I'm going to pause while you finish copying that down. Then in your group, I want you to try it with these numbers, these equations, these sentences here. Okay? So, John, did your group come up with an answer here?
I don't know about them, but I did.
What'd you get?
I put the 7 right next to the 2 and I times 2, got 14, and then I brought down the 1 and then got 14 minus 1.
So, does it sound like John solved this equation and got 7?
I got 13, the answer.
Oh, I see. You substituted the 7 in and show you. So you did the check step to this,
Oh,
right?
I guess.
Okay, that's okay. This is real early in what we're doing, right? I mean, this is the first day, and this is the first example I've asked you to do. Does somebody feel like he maybe misunderstood what I asked? Okay. Paul says probably, but I think I did also, so you're not alone, John. It's okay. Emily, what did your group say?
I got 2x minus 1 equals 13, IFF x equals 7.
Okay. When we're saying it, go ahead and say the words out, okay?
Okay.
When you're writing it, go ahead and write IFF. What she said was, let me get rid of this. She said 2x minus 1 equals 13 if and only if x equals 7. Did anybody else say that? Okay. Did anybody say x equals 7 if and only if 2x minus 1 equals 13? Nobody said that? They both would be just as accurate. Okay? Since the converse and the original condition are both true, then it wouldn't matter which way you wrote them, and you throw the if and only if in the middle. Okay? It wouldn't matter. Nice job. Many times on the first attempt, people are trying to tell me if, whatever, if and, only if, then, whatever. They really struggle to take that if and then out of the statement. But you notice what's happening. You take the hypothesis and the conclusion and you throw these away and you put what right there? If and only if. Okay? That's all there is to writing a biconditional. You take the two parts, the hypothesis and the conclusion. And as long as when you switch them around, it's still a true statement, as long as the converse is true, then you can take the if and then out of the statement and throw if and only if in the middle of it. Okay? Good job to all those who had it right the first time. Even better job to those who had it wrong and the courage to tell me what you got. All right? These are the 3 qualities of a good definition. I'm going to go ahead and read them to make sure you can read my handwriting here. I love this program. I hand wrote this, and this morning just before class in about 10 minutes I went through and highlighted stuff and asked it to change it to text for you so you could read it better. But anyway, they are, number 1, you have to use words that are easily understood or previously defined. Number 2, it must be clearly and accurately stated. You know, what you're trying to define must be clearly and accurately stated. Being clear isn't good enough. It also has to be accurate. If I'm talking about midpoint, I can't be using words about parallel lines and transversals and throwing in other information. Okay? And 3, it must be reversible. You must be able to write the conditional and its converse, and they both be true. Okay? Must be reversible. Those are the 3 qualities of a good definition. Oh, I'm sorry. You will have some homework questions where they'll give you a definition and they'll say, you know, what's wrong with this? And you have to identify which of those 3 are highlighted. Or you'll say, it is a good definition, there's nothing wrong with it. Okay? Anybody have any questions on this? I don't think I'll come right back to it, I just want to remind myself, yep. Okay. So, I don't have any examples for you here. You'll get some practice some in the homework. I just wanted to give you some quick, direct information, and then you'll have some time in class here to work. I will get Schoology going, okay, and then give you that code before we leave. Just so you know what tomorrow's assignment will be, and you can start on it now. Lesson 2-2, 1 through 23 odds, and I will give you time in class tomorrow, at least 30 minutes, to work when you first come in. Aaron?
Next time you do the homework, would you be able to add a page number?
Oh, probably not. But we can talk about it right now. Someone tell me what the page number is.
78.
78, there you go.